Welcome, guys. So I just want to preface by saying if you've been a long time listener of the pod, you would know I have major issues, mic issues. I don't know why, but I've just been informed that I've been holding my mic the wrong way. So that's why I sound a bit weird. I listened to last week's and I'm like, I bought a new mic. What is going on? It's always the user error.
Always.
When it comes to me. You know, so hopefully from here on out, you get a bit of better audio. I'm going to listen to it back and I sound shocking. Just kidding.
Well, and if we're making caveats, last week I had my hair in like a messy bun that did not translate at all on screen.
She looked like Einstein.
I was like, I'm never going to wear my hair like messy like that again. Anyway, this week.
I think it was the glasses too, like the square glasses with the crazy hair.
I can't remember the teacher's name, but from Harry Potter. Oh my God, what's her name? She's like, does the tea leaves? And she's always like.
Or the grandma from Mortified, who like reads the bottom of the ticket.
I don't. This is the second time you brought up the show Mortified. I don't know it.
There is a distinctive memory of me dropping Indi, not me driving, but when I was little, we dropped Indi off at some friend's house and she was an actress, like a young actress. She had brown hair and like olive skin. And you were like, yeah, she's really good friends with the girl from Mortified.
I don't think that was me.
I don't know why I have that memory, but it's there.
I just wanted it to be true. Like, yeah, my sister's
so this happened. But I reckon sometimes I have memories that never existed and I'm like, oh, I was like tuning into like something because I'm obviously a witch. So I was like tuning into something like a vision and then it just like went away. Anyway, so in my head, Indi's friends with the girls from Mortified. She doesn't even know the show. So
I've never heard of it.
Anyway, moving on.
Welcome to Internet Girls, the #1 beauty podcast, according to our mum, hosted by makeup artist sisters Indiana Nolty Martin and
Imogen Thomas.
We're here to chat all things makeup, beauty, and everything in between.
So she's cut out the part where we say we live on opposite sides of the world for now, temporarily. Not on purpose, but she has just done that twice.
It's like, it's not true. I'm not going to say it.
Because we are on the same side of the country right now. Happy Canada Day.
Same side of the country. The world. Yes, Happy Canada Day. It's not getting released on Canada Day, but we do have an episode that came out today, so that's a little treat. Hopefully you've listened to last week's episode.
So grab your mate through it and listen.
This week we are back to regular programming. We're going to be talking about all things beauty. We've got lots to talk about. So, Immi, we've had a busy week since last time we recorded.
I've got a busy week. Spray tan Thursday, no Good Friday. Yeah, we have been to the lake, which was really fun. So I'm a professional surfer.
Behind the boat surfer,
which I've never done before, but it's a lot easier than normal surfing, I will say that.
Yeah, see, I find it the opposite, but at the moment I can't do either, so I'm not one to comment.
Yeah, hush over there.
It's also been Nori's first birthday.
Happy birthday, Nori girl.
So we had a little tea party for her. And it was grad day here where we live, so that was a busy, busy day.
Can I just say, Indiana, she had 9 appointments. If you do the math, it's a little over 9 hours. She flew through them, just like seamlessly. Some would say you hit flow state. Like, I was so impressed. She was wrapped up by like 3-4, around 3:34. And yeah, I was like, wow. And then she still came out with me to the saloon.
Yeah, so the grad day was really, really fun. I loved all the makeup that the grads chose. It was very like my style, which is great because I feel like I'm at the point in my career where people are hiring me for that style. So I feel like that's kind of like my signature, and it like aligns, which makes the applications a lot more seamless and like beneficial for both the client and me. And then we did have the saloon on here where we live, which is how do you even describe it?
So, okay. The saloon is, if you've ever been to like a country themed party and there's a sign saying like the saloon, we were there, but it was real life. And I can't even. Okay, so it looks
It
like
pops, it's a pop up. It's not there all the building's there all the time, but like it's not used. You can't just go there like weekly.
no, it's not like a. You don't even have a club here.
No, not anymore.
So when things like this pop up, it's all very exciting. And there's a fair that's, I would say, the equivalent to like a small country town Royal Melbourne show.
Yep.
Has like all the rides.
No show bags.
No show bags. You should start that. And then there is a little barn called the Saloon, which turns into a bar and like a dance floor out the back. And it's just like, you have to be 19 and older to get in. And so I walk in. For starters, everyone loves wearing caps here.
Yeah, that is boys, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the boys are wearing caps. Lots of like country outfits.
Well, yeah, it's a theme.
That's the theme, but like also everyone's in country outfits every day here because we're in a country town.
Not like to that extreme. Some people are like authentic.
Yeah, they seriously are cowboys. Like I would just sometimes that they're like the equivalent to like 7-Elevens. There's a guy walking in with his boots on, skinny jeans, a tucked-in shirt, and a cowboy hat, and like that's just like casual fit. Like it still stuns me to this day. I'm like, oh, that's a real cowboy. Like they live on a farm for sure. Anyway,
I know you live.
Yeah, out that way somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, I walk into the saloon. I'm like, oh my god, so footless coated.
Yeah,
like so footless coated. So yeah, the saloon was just really fun, really random. Footless came on, people were line dancing. It was a vibe. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend if visiting Swift Current to go to the saloon.
Immi forced me to come out. She was like, like I don't know when I'm going to see you again. You only have one opportunity to come out with me. So I was like, okay, you know what? You're right. Let's do it.
And that's how you get them, ladies.
And that's on manipulation.
Yeah. I was like, you don't know when I'm going to be here next in summer. The saloon's open, 3 days of the year, 2 days of the year. Your husband is home to look after Nori. Like, we have free reign.
Yeah.
Even though you just worked over 9 hours, get on it with me, sis.
I do want to touch on, like, complete subject change, the products I use the most from grad season, because there was some really key products that were new to my kit that I was absolutely loving, and I was like, I'm so glad I have these in my kit. So first up is the Tennille Jai bronzers. I really loved the shade Caramel Latte. It's like a warm bronzer, and it looked amazing on the clients who had a spray tan.
I was going to say, is it a good tan one?
Really good tan one. And Tennille Jai is an Australian makeup artist, so her formulations are very much built for like humidity, heat, and lasting. So I knew that it was going to be awesome for lasting all day. And then I'm loving the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It's a powder bronzer. I was obsessed with this back in the day, like probably like 2016. I feel like the product itself hasn't changed, just the packaging's a little bit more elevated. But those two bronzers paired together were a match made in heaven. Normally I'm a ride or die for my Hourglass Radiant Bronze for tan. But sometimes I was just not feeling like shine, shine, shine. I wanted it to be like an even glow.
Like a satin glow.
Yeah.
I, whenever someone's like, oh, I've used the Hulu Benefit bronzer for years.
Yeah.
And they want something new or try something different, I always recommend that Too Faced one.
Yeah.
It gives the same vibes.
Yeah. I'd say Too Faced is slightly more warm. I guess what depends on what color you get.
Mm.
And then I loved using those both for the base for eyeshadow. And then depending on the client, I added a little bit more or left it like that.
Mm.
And then the Own lashes. They're so good.
Let's dissect this.
So they are lash clusters. So Own, I'm saying OWN. Own is a lash brand from another Australian makeup artist, Leah Baines. And they are, I love the styles. They look so good. I have 02, 03, and then the Fluffies 01. And depending on the look the client was going for, they just brought everything together. They were super easy to apply. And we're going to talk a little bit more about lash clusters later. But I just wanted to shout out the brand because they're unreal.
And the packaging's really cute. I love that it's like a fold open book.
Fold up. But yeah.
But it is so cute, and also their packaging's really nice and like chic.
Yeah, it looks very aesthetic in the kit.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that was a really long catch up, but Immi, I don't have a random rec this week. Do you?
I've actually got two, so strap in. So I visited this shop downtown, and it's an interior store. So they have like one side that's like there's like what you can go in and like consult and like come up with interior for your home.
Yeah, it's like design services.
Okay.
Interior design services.
So there's one side, and then the other side is like stuff you can buy.
A shop.
A shop. You know, one of those things. And it was so cute. I walked in and I was like, I want everything in here.
I know.
Like if I was to live in Swift, I would have my home. Everything would be from Farmer's Daughter.
That's the name of the shop.
Farmer's Daughter.
Yeah.
Farmer's Daughter would be from the Farmer's Daughter down the road. Just kidding. But yeah, it's really cute. If you're local in Swift, I'm sure you know about it. But
or even just Canadian wide. They ship everywhere.
There you go. It's just so nice to go in there. Like even if you're not looking to buy anything, it's just like so fun to smell things and look at things, give yourself inspiration.
Such a nice vibe being in there.
It's so like mindfulness. So yeah, that's my first rec. If you're local, I'm sure you've seen it, but if not, go there more often. And my second random rec is super random and so off-brand for me. So for starters, I never buy things off Amazon. And secondary,
secondly,
why did I miss a blank then? Secondly, I'm not a big designer girl. Like I don't love designer things, especially not like fake designer things. Like kind of tacky sometimes. Anyway,
which leads me to my random
which leads me to why it's so off-brand. Back in like 2019, I ordered these rings off Amazon, and they're like a dupe of the Cartier ones, and they're stainless steel. So I was like, I lost in the beach once, and I was like, I really want those back. Like they were really good. I really liked them. They lasted so long. I also love the shape of them and the band and like kind of like the simpleness of them. There's a love Isabel I want, but it's too expensive. So I was like, okay, I'm going to settle and get these ones from Amazon again. And I just love them. And I ordered too many. For starters, I ordered them once, and then it said my card failed, so I ordered them again. And then they got shipped to me 3 times. So if anyone wants to buy some rings off me, they don't stain, they don't anything, but for visual listeners, I'm just going to put you guys off. Well,
Amy's showing the camera right now.
I'm showing the camera. So go watch our YouTube if you're listening on Spotify. They're just like these bands, and I put another one in between them. But I just really like the feel of them. So that's my random rec. If you're looking for cheap, good quality, I know it's not great to order off Amazon, but cost of living crisis too.
Bit of high-low.
I would the Love Sky Cartier rings. So
we can link them.
Link them in the shop my. Period. So those are my 2 random recs to make up for Indi's lack of.
Thank you. And what is your beauty rec this week?
Okay, my beauty rec, we're very similar in our beauty recs this week. But I have actually started breaking out. I'm premenstrual, it happens. And I've been using La Roche-Posay moisturizer. And then over the top of my blemishes, I've been putting the Dr. Jart
Ceramidin?
Yeah. Moisturizer, which is in like a yellow tube. We'll link in our shop my. And I've been taking just like a little bit of that and putting it on my spots, and it's been minimizing them so much overnight.
Oh, wow.
It's magic cream, I'm calling it.
So it's just a moisturizer. Why do you think it's minimizing them?
It's just when you get blemishes, the skin normally dries out around them, so they like need hydration.
They appear more obvious.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
because
good
they're
little
like
hack.
irritated, they need like moisture, they need to drink some water. So I've been putting it a little bit thicker.
Yeah, it's
so
really nice winter moisturizer.
Yeah. I've been putting that on the blemishes, and it's been really helping. So yeah, get onto that job.
So my beauty rec is also a moisturizer, the Embryo Release Late Cream Concentrate. So this is a makeup artist staple. I think it's like nearly every makeup artist you meet has either used it or has it in their kit. It's more as a primer than a moisturizer in a makeup kit. But I have recently discovered all the ways that you can use it. So you can use it, of course, as a moisturizer, a primer, but you can also use it as a mask and a makeup remover. So it's a really, and the bottle says multi-purpose cream. So that's on me for not realizing that earlier. But yeah, I love a versatile product in my makeup kit. And yeah, it's just so beautiful and luxe and just makes the makeup look so good.
So I stole some from you the other day.
Really?
I wanted to try it.
I have some of my personal kit too.
My only downfall is the fragrance in it.
Yeah, it is a strong fragrance. I find a lot of French brands do have fragrance.
Makes sense.
But there is a sensitive version. But in saying that, I've never had any clients react or anything like that. So I think it's more just like a personal preference.
Yeah, there's so much hype around it, and I can that's always like a risky thing when there's things with fragrance in it of like, oh, is this going to irritate the skin? But if it's never happened, then that's good.
Well, we have something we wanted to talk about today. So, you wanted to share with me. So let's get into it.
So I'm about to say a friend of mine. So a friend, sure. But we have awesome chats. She comes into work, and I just adore her. Beth is her name, and she's the owner of St. Jack, and I just adore her. I think she's so funny. I didn't know for a long time how big St. Jack was. We had a bottle of hers in the back room, and I just never really. I'm so bad in the makeup world. Also, working in retail, I'm just focused on what I have.
Yeah, what's not in front of you.
What's out there?
Well, let's explain what it is.
So, getting there.
Oh, sorry. Let me explain how we're really good friends before I get into it.
Brag for a hot second. No, so St. Jack is an unreal brush cleaner brand for makeup artists.
Melbourne-based,
run by a legend
makeup artist.
And yeah, her stuff's unreal. I cleaned Indi's brushes the other day, and we used it when we did a wedding back in Melbourne, and obsessed. The fragrance in it's so nice. It's almost it feels like an oily base, so it doesn't it just
not drying.
It works so well.
So it's not a brush cleaner in the sense of shampooing, running under the sink, drying your brushes. It's a solution that you dip your brushes into. The solution goes up the brush, and then you brush it out onto paper towel, and all the makeup product comes out of it. Yeah,
so there's that one, or then there's a spray, and then there's also a shampoo cleaner for a beauty blender. But I just find it works so quickly, which I adore, and as a makeup artist, you need things to work quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just come out with makeup brushes.
Perfect.
So smart. One, they're a mint green, which I think is so trendy right now.
And it's a brown color.
But what I wanted to talk about is her campaign she did for it. Now, in the makeup industry, there's a lot of when it comes to launching product, there's a lot of brands like Capini, so chic. Makeup House with their L-curve lashes, so chic. When advertising these things, there's a lot of texture elements, very minimalist. St. Jack did the funniest campaign for these brushes, and it just took a whole different direction, and I love it because her packaging is so colorful and bright. Her personality is so colorful and bright, and she's such a fun person, and she's hilarious. So I think the campaign was just yes, you're so funny. It was iconic. Anyway, so the whole idea of the campaign was that they were doing an art class, and the model was a man, and it's oh yeah, that song
from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. And so all the girls are oh, and then he's like getting unchanged and stuff. And then he takes off his undies, and then all the girls get really disappointed. And then the whole campaign was like, sometimes you can't choose tools, but you can choose your tools, as in like you can choose like your tools like these St. Jack makeup brushes.
Oh my God, so cheeky.
So cheeky, just a whole different direction. So funny and iconic because like the makeup industry is such a female dominated space. So to like not sexualize in a discouraging way, but turn it into like a sexual campaign somewhat is just so funny to me.
I love it because all of their social posts are like so funny and cheeky and really engaging. Like every time I scroll past, I'm like, oh, gotta watch this.
Yeah.
You know, they really like capture your attention. And the makeup industry is so oversaturated. Like, how do you stand out by doing something different and something that's going to get you talking?
And I just love it. And the fact that I know her personality too, like that would have been so easy for her to come up with.
She's natural.
She's hilarious. So I just admire their uniqueness in that campaign.
I love it.
And can't wait to try the brushes.
Yeah, you got to try the brushes. If you haven't tried the brush cleaner and you hate cleaning your brushes, it makes it so much easier, faster, because sometimes the hassle with cleaning your brushes is the waiting for them to dry. Mm-hmm. So then it puts you off from doing it because you're like, well, I need them to dry overnight. This is like instant dry. So good. So, yeah, it's amazing. There's a solution that you can dip into, or there's a spray, and there's also a cleaning mist to sanitize your makeup products, which I also have too.
So like spray over your palettes and things. Yeah, unreal. Anyway, go check out St. Jack. They're hilarious and amazing and female ran. So awesome.
And not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Just love my girl Beth.
All right. Well, should we get into some ins and outs?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Immi. Ins and outs. Let's start with the technique I used on nearly all of my grads, underpainting. Do you want to explain what underpainting is?
So Indi and I have been on an underpainting journey. Maybe some would say late to the game.
No, we've been doing it a while. It's just that
I haven't. I only started doing it when I got here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm not late to the game, but you are. No, it's a technique that has been used by makeup artists for a long, long time, but I would say it's become mainstream since Mary Phillips, who is Hailey Bieber, Kendall Jenner's go-to celebrity makeup artist. She came out with a brand and came out with an underpainting palette to make it easier for the everyday person. So that's kind of when it became part of the everyday lexicon. So it's a technique that's been used by makeup artists for a long, long time. But you go ahead and explain what it is.
So you're kind of reversing the method, and you're starting with your bronzer and kind of your colors. So you're starting with your bronzer and your blush. It's a very trussle process sort of thing. And then you're kind of going over all of that with foundation and kind of adding coverage and blending the edges, and it creates a really seamless look. So I've only been doing my makeup this way now. It creates such a seamless look, and I'm devastated that I'm so late to the trend. I haven't been doing this earlier.
So I think the purpose of it is to use less layering. So you're not putting on a whole base of foundation and then your bronzer over top and then your blush. It's like you're putting on bronzer, your blush, and then filling in with foundation and concealer. It means making fun of my hand movements. So the foundation and concealer placements are really intentional. It's not just creating an even base to then start from. And I think this works really well when you have even skin. I don't, and I've done it today, and it still looks good.
I think it looks great.
Thank you. and it depends on the products you're using as well. But anyone can try it. When I'm doing my makeup lessons, this is my go-to technique to teach when somebody says, like, I want my makeup to look elevated, but I don't really like the feeling of wearing makeup. And it's also my go-to look for grads who are like, I want to be on the more natural side, because, of course, they're still young and they don't want to look at any age when you wear makeup, you look older. So the less makeup you use, the not younger, but you won't look as old as if you do like a full face. So you will want to use cream products for this. So if you're not familiar with a cream bronzer or a cream blush or a cream foundation, or even a stick foundation you could use as well. But you want to use creams because that's how the technique works. So our top 3 bronzers for underpainting are, no shock, Tennille Dry bronzers.
Bonjour.
And I'm saying that intentionally.
Thank God.
A combination of bronzer and contour.
Yeah.
NARS Laguna cream bronzer. And do you have any other cream bronzers that you love?
I love Truffle by Westman Atelier.
Of course.
And don't ever forget Too Faced.
Oh,
Chocolate Soleil.
Gosh, I can't believe. Sneakily added in an extra one.
Yeah, top 4.
And I love trying cream bronzers, so that list might grow, but it's a category I'll always be honest with you about.
And a category where...
That sounded like I'm not going to be honest about it. But I just mean my recommendations are always genuine.
And there's a lot to recommend in that category.
Yeah.
Especially Aussie Girl Glam.
Yeah, we love it.
They love their bronzer. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously underpainting in and has been for a while.
Just realising, girls.
Okay, what about lash clusters?
So I never knew how to put lashes on myself. Then I got sent lashes by V's Eyes, I think it's how you say it. There's a link in my TikTok if you want to shop them. But they're really good. I really like them. And so I was like reading how to do it, and it was like put them underneath your eye, like almost on like your top waterline, like where your lash meets your waterline underneath, not on top of your lash line. So I was like looking down into a mirror and I was just like putting them on seamlessly. And I was like, oh my God, this is a trick all the time. But in saying that, there is like a special glue. So you put it on and then there's like a bond thing. So then you're meant to leave them for longer than 24 hours because as me and you know that when you put lashes on, like I just use the Mecca Max ones or the own ones, you normally just like wash off your face at the end of the day.
Yeah, and the lashes included come off.
Yeah. And there's not necessarily like a bond glue in there because it's not keeping them on for a long time. It's a temporary thing. So I've been introduced to this recently. Use my code if you'd like. We can get a discount on them if you're wanting to try them. But what's been your experience with them recently?
So I was surprised that nearly every single one of my grads was like, oh, sorry, I might still have a little bit of glue because I've been using the lash clusters, like the exact ones you're describing, where they go underneath and they last for like a week. And then when I was putting on their clusters on the top, they were like, whoa, you're putting them on the top. Like, I've never thought to do that. And I was like, yeah, that's like how you do the temporary ones. I'm sure you can put the temporary ones underneath. I've just never tried it because I love the look of it being on the top. And it's not meant to last beyond the occasion, like for the day. So, yeah, it was interesting because they were all super familiar. And I didn't offer a strip lash, but I definitely got the vibe of like they wouldn't have wanted a strip lash.
No, I think strip lashes are so out. Clusters in. We've talked about the L curve makeup house lashes. Instead of them being like a C, they're more of an L. So they're a little bit, they don't drip the eye down as much. But you don't see them coming out with a strip.
So true. I think maybe there's like a time and place for a strip. And some clients are just familiar. They know what it's going to look like. So, for people who haven't had their makeup done before, but they've put strip lashes on, maybe they've done dance or they've just put it on themselves. I think it takes like a little bit of the unknown away if they are like, just use the strip lash that I know and love.
You can kind of control how much emphasis it's giving when you have individuals or a cluster. When you have a strip, you're committing.
Yeah. And some people know the style that they love. They're like, these are my lashes. When I wear them, this is exactly how I want them to look.
Mm.
So I think in those scenarios, like, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, other than that, I would say individual lashes and lash clusters in.
Absolutely.
Okay, our next in or out that I wanted to talk about.
Did you add this in sneakily?
Yes. No, that was so Baxter coded the way I said,
Yeah.
Baxter, that brother, if this is your first time listening. What I wanted to talk about was collaborating. So I feel like there's this misconception that your generation, Gen Z, are very, like, I don't want to say selfish in the way that, like, you guys are all selfish, but like there's this conception of like, misconception that you're like, I want to work, these are my terms. I don't want to, like, I want work-life balance, like all these things that make it seem like maybe you're in the mindset of like tunnel vision of like just what you guys need as individuals. But I don't believe that to be true, because working with you and then also working with our producer, Joel, I love how when you guys have something going on creatively, you want to involve as many people as you can, like, and support other friends and people, you know, businesses to bring that in and collaborate and mutually benefit each other. So, for example, all of your creative shoots, you're like, who can we get involved? And then you're working on a special project and you've got people you're using people with their area of expertise that it's going to benefit them for their portfolio. And then Joel involved our amazing graphic designer, Lauren, to get this beautiful branding. So I just love how it's like actually not at all this individual mindset. It's such a group mentality, like, let's all rise up together.
I love that you're saying this, because I saw a TikTok the other day and I sent it to cool friend Ash. And it was like, Gen Z don't want LinkedIn, they want what this is. And it was like pictures of like people all collaborating together and like networking and like being creative and being in big groups of people. And I was like, it makes so much sense, because after doing so much research on Gen Z and the Gen Alpha, after like an industry project we had for a brand that's very focused in that generation
at uni,
like the core part of the research was that Gen Z and the generations to come are yearning community, which makes sense. And like, I guess that's how we're kind of like implementing it, that human connection and that community, is by like being like, you can get involved in, like, for example, I'm working on a project right now and being like, instead of just like hiring someone who's already doing it and has years of experience, like getting my friends to help and get them to use it as an opportunity for something that they're really excited for and they can be able to do. But then also following that, in that big creative shoot, like some of the girls have like at that, like one of my girlfriends who's a photographer, and then some of my other girls that I met randomly through social media have a content business, and then they've done shoots together, and I've done shoots with them for other brands. And then I'm like, oh, so this is like the next generation of creatives, and it's just by like networking.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love seeing you do that, because I haven't done it in a little while here now, but in Swift with like photographers, florists, models, it's just the best outlet to re-inspire you and make you remember like why you're doing what you're doing. And also those relationships you have with those industry people, you might end up working together for years. And like, for example, I this week heavily relied on one of my photographer friends to navigate a situation. And I'm just like so thankful for those connections and those relationships. And without collaborating, sometimes they might not occur.
I think in Melbourne too, it's such like a, especially being at like such a creative uni, you see all the older kids and you're like, and then you see them like at music events and stuff all together, and you're like, whoa, like that's a whole community in itself that they've got. And then when you start to kind of just like build your own, you're like, oh, Like
This is how it
this is
happens.
how it starts. Like you network and you meet people, and now like and then you become actual friends with them, and it's just like fun.
Yeah.
And some girls reached out that have a content business called Mara Creative Studios. If you ever want some branding done, they're unreal and need content for a shoot. They're awesome. They work so hard. And they reached out to me to do makeup for their launch. And then they've reached out and they organize shoots for like other brands, which is so smart. They've done it in a really good way. And I've done 3 other shoots with them and I'm just adore them.
That's amazing. Yeah, you never know where something can lead.
Yeah. And then one of the girls ended up being at my uni, bumped into her there, and it's just like you always got to be friendly to people in the field because you never know when you're going to see them again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also good advice for living in a small town.
I would suck at living in a small town.
Anyway, that kind of wraps up this week's episode. So thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Please follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, anywhere. You just search Internet Girls Podcast and please follow us. It really does make a huge, huge difference. And you can follow me on Indiana Makeup Collective, both on Instagram and TikTok. And Immi, what are your socials?
Immi Thomas, makeup artist, on Instagram, and Immi Tomo on TikTok.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys next week.
Deuces, peace to the Middle East.
Oh, wait, you're leaving that in?
Yeah, absolutely. Bye.
Bye.